Hey, it's Aaron with the Mowing in the Dark Lawn Care Podcast.
Hey, this is Tony's Lawn Care Talk.
Hey guys, Cameron here with the Lawn Care Life of Missouri.
Hey guys, this is Dan White with Lawn Care Unscripted.
What up guys, it's Phil with Phil's Lawn Care.
And you're listening to the Turf Nerds.
Greg.
Okay, Greg. I don't know why it says we've been recording for 50 seconds, but we're back.
Wonder what we said in those 50 seconds.
I don't know, because in the upper left-hand corner, we've hopped on over the StreamYard. Last week was Zoom, but now we have everything set for StreamYard. It says we've been recording for a minute. I'm not sure why.
Were we nice to each other or nice to other people? I don't remember.
Oh, I hope we were nice to each other. I was probably mean to you, but
yeah,
aside from the point.
Hello, this is Greg.
Hey,
that's
we got to
me.
get you guys could start calling me and listening to my voicemail. Hi, this is Evan with A&D Lawn Care. Mine's more just like rigid. Yours is actually like you're being like relaxed.
And I just don't give my last name in case it's somebody that's a scammer or something. So that's why I just say hello. This is Greg. So,
no one knows your last name, anyways. It's a mystery, isn't it?
yeah. Well, we try and keep it that way potentially. So. But no, I've had cases where, you get junk phone calls or something. And that's why I just say it's Greg. You get my first name. That's all you get.
Don't you like getting those telemarketing calls, Greg, while you're on the mower? I get them quite a bit still.
I registered my phone that I'm not supposed to get any, and I get very few actually. So you should do
That's
that.
impressive.
I forget there's a phone number that, there's a link that you can go to that you can register your phone number so you don't get spam phone calls. I get very few.
I was fine. We were on Patriot Mobile, and we switched to AT&T. We're only paying $100 a month. We got the iPhone 16 Pros, unlimited everything. It's like $100 a month, but I get these calls all the time from people. But lately, I've been getting emails that I've been going to my E&D Lawn Care email about like these like guys fishing. It's basically like a scam asking if I want to sell E&D Lawn Care. And I'm like, no. And this one guy kept trying to follow up, and I just labeled his email as spam. I almost replied saying like, stop ripping people off. It's not for sale, but if you wanted to buy, it's $2 million or just something crazy like that.
I had a friend of mine in high school that his dad owned a party store, and he had a competitor. I don't know if I shared this or not before. He had a competitor that was always coming in trying to buy his business. And finally, because he had a good business, and finally one day the competitor walked in and said, "What do you want?" And he threw out some ridiculous number, and the guy says, "Done." And so he wound up selling his business for, I have no idea what it was, but this was back, 30, 40 years ago. And he might have said something like $1 million, which was a lot of money back then. And the guy took it, $1 million, $2 million. And the guy said, done. But the guy had prime location. So
what if someone came to you, guys, question for you, totally not really, relevance, lawn care, just offered you a couple $1 million for your business on the spot. Would you take it? Would you get out of the business? Like, what would you do, Greg?
A couple $1 million? Yeah, done deal.
Yeah, probably. I would too. We still do the show, but
yeah. But you could just start another business. You could start another one. You just can't go back. There'd probably be a non-compete. So you could probably do a 2-year non-compete, or they'd probably want that. But as long as you don't go back to those same clients, I think you could start another business. So, or you could just start something different.
Buy a new used 2500. I'd hop into the plowing game. I'm on that cusp of trying to get into the plowing game myself. But hey, Greg, wasn't last week's episode with Pat very fun? I thought that was really good to talk to a regular guy, not regular. I mean, we're all regular, but just a guy working out there hard in the field.
Yeah, it was really good, and it's nice to see a guy who, he's had some struggles, but he sounds like he's really done well and gotten and the thing is, he's gotten that reputation, because I was listening to that the other day, and he said, I just had somebody that was with me that took me on, And then my name just blew up, and he started getting referrals, and he just blew up. And that's the name of the game for us. That if we can get that, then good for us, good for him that he was able to get a good reputation, and that his name meant a lot, and it's grown him very well, and I'm sure he could continue to succeed and grow more.
Because he was just in a neighborhood, and then he got like referrals. Like there's one neighborhood that I mow in, Greg, where I have basically 50 lawns, and that all spread through referrals. So we talk about this over and over, Greg, but we target certain neighborhoods and we want to grow in them. And word of mouth, I mean, forget even like doing mailers or even advertising on Facebook with videos and stuff. The best form of advertising, it's free. It's stapling your work and having customers rave and crave about you. And because, Greg, you would agree, we have a hint of personalities. We wave the dogs and neighbors, and you've gotten several clients that way.
Yeah. Yeah, just waving at somebody. I see this guy. I'm out mowing one of my lawns, and it's funny because it's like every day when I start mowing, he comes out and has a cigarette outside his garage and
Greg,
looks at me mowing. Yeah. But I give him a wave, and I've gotten to know his wife a little bit just because she walks the dog by me while I'm out mowing. So, maybe I'll pick something up. And yeah, but it was a couple years ago. She actually stopped me and asked me to give them a quote for their lawn, and I'm sure she didn't like the price, but I'm not doing it for free, and but they didn't go with me. But there might be a chance for me to be able to pick them up in a year or two. So because they're older, and at some point in time, he's probably going to stop mowing. But my price has gone up since.
Oh yeah, all of our prices have gone up. But just to rehash, guys, that new series, I mean, this is another new series that we're starting for this episode. But if you guys want to be on the From the Field Real Lawn Care Talk, just shoot an email, turfferentspodcast@proton.me. Once a month, Greg and I just want to interview you guys, the guys who are, well, I mean, all of us are in the field, but it doesn't matter what type of business we have. Greg, we don't gatekeep any of the content. If you run a lawn and landscape business and you want to get on, we would love to talk to you.
Right. It'd be a great opportunity. I saw a guy that you and I have been trying to get on the show for a little while. His schedule is so crazy right now because of kind of what he does and some things in his going on in his life. But we're trying to get him to come on the show, and he's got a great gig going, what he's doing, and really nice guy, believer in Christ. And so, like I said, I ran into him the other day. It's funny, I've run into him like 3 or 4 times in the field.
Several times, haven't you?
Yeah, the same place. I run into him in the same place every time. So it's kind of funny, but nice guy, and we're probably going to have him on late fall or end or beginning of the maybe around December or so when his part of the season slows down.
Because I've been pushing you, Greg. It's we won't even tease what it is because I don't know if anyone else in this industry is doing what this guy does. You had told me about him a couple years ago, Greg, and then we've been just thinking of other show ideas. We talked to him in the spring, but he's just got a loaded schedule, a lot of clients, right, and just a busy family life, and so hopefully we get him on for From the Field because it's a different type of business, but it's in our industry and it's wild. Guess what? Because he doesn't need a trailer. He does not need a trailer, does he?
He does not need a trailer, and it's kind of cool. It has a truck and a couple of toys, and he's good to go. So it's
Didn't he say?
What's that?
Kind of a tease. Didn't he say he had like 1,500 clients?
Yes.
Or maybe I misheard. Yeah.
Yeah, 1,500 clients. So he's busy.
He's busier than us apparently. But Greg, the past week or so with mowing and stuff, I mean, we've had some rain come through. I've only stayed current because my brother's moved back up here from Louisville. He actually lived right near the expo. He went to the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary. He's up here trying to find a job now. Back here with family. So he's helping me out 2 days a week, Greg, and it makes me look fast, doesn't it? But I'm not. I'm really slow.
Yeah, it makes me feel bad because last week I was just dying because the grass was so long, and you were telling me I need to cut shorter. I was starting to look at it, and I'm thinking, you know what? On my mower, for the most part, I'm cutting at 3.5, but my deck is a little bit lower, so I'm technically cutting at 3 1/4. Because my deck is a little bit lower, and you're telling me I should be cutting at 3 1/4. I'm cutting at 3 1/4, and these lawns here, like I just drove by when I was coming home today. I drove by a lawn in our neighborhood that is always brown. His lawn just gets beat by the sun, and I even turned to Shell and said, "That guy's lawn is green as grass, and his lawn is never green." And it's just the way the rain is hitting us lately. His grass was long and green, and I'm going, man, if his is like that, no telling what all mine are going to be like. So I had one lawn the other day. I had to triple cut it. It was just so long, and I cut it at 3 1/4. So
well, you're keeping your yards green and alive. Mine are kind of like the green brown combo. We don't scalp, but at least your lawns are a tad more lush. People might just be irrigating and I guess treating your lawns more than fertilizing more than my lawns, Greg. But Greg, it's getting closer and closer to the expo. So guys, don't forget about the Turf Nerds discount. And of course, we cannot forget our buddy. Turf Nerds, all one word at checkout. I think the rates have gone out. Can't forget about Ezra McCarthy.
$30. They're still at 30, I think, until September. Yeah. So if you use the Turf Nerds promo code, you'll get it for $15 registration for $15. Heck, you could even bring your wife or wives.
Yeah. Bring your wives. Yeah. And then we can't forget about Ezra McCarthy. He's doing wonders. He's the genie, Greg, isn't he, with the websites? He's doing these single page websites. Hop on it.
Right. I was just talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about giving him a call. Actually, no, they said they had a meeting scheduled with them that they were gonna start trying to work with them. So good for them, and reach out to Ezra. Can't hurt to make a phone call and find out what he can do for you guys.
And then real quick, Greg, we fill them in before we hop into the meat and the potatoes. The expo is coming up, and we got a prayer breakfast that's coming up. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be real good food, real good speaker. It's at a hotel right next to the expo on that Wednesday morning.
Yeah, it's going to be right there, free. There's no charge for it, guys. So you get a free breakfast, and that's going to be neat. Last year, I believe they had a couple hundred people there, and so it's going to be a real neat opportunity. You get a great speaker coming, and so it's going to be a nice time for guys, and we encourage you guys to get there. And if there's opportunities to meet us or meet you, we'd love to have an opportunity. Stop us. We'll probably be in some sort of Turf Nerd shirt and
dorking around, right?
Yeah. So make sure you do see, if you do see us, stop and say hi. Love to see you.
Doors are at 6:30. Breakfast at 6:45. Eli Keen's the welcome speaker. Opening prayer by Spencer from SB Mowing. He mows a lot of overgrown tall lawns. We have an industry professional testimonial by Alan Brandley, and then the chemo testimonial. Okay, Mike Singletary. He'd play for the Bears, and then closing prayer will be by
Hall of Fame linebacker.
Hall of Fame linebacker and the closing prayer will be by our buddy Ron Scheffler over at Bobcat. So, Greg, we got another new series that we're going to kick off in the show. It's called Green Industry Rundown, and we're just going to run down and talk about news stories and other stories, and kind of keep you current of what's going on with the industry, either from guys who are on the field. We pull these from just various websites, Facebook groups that we're a part of, Greg, and it's just kind of funny. The first story that we're leading up here now, guys. Remember, we have a Turf Nerds YouTube channel, and we go live Monday nights. So and Monday nights and Wednesdays, Greg. What do you think between 9 and 9:30? It just depends on when I get home, right?
Or me in our case. Actually, I'll probably be home a little bit early tomorrow because when we're done here, I got to run out and mow a couple lawns so I can make sure I get home a little earlier tomorrow. So, but yeah, we'll be able to run some shows and hopefully be able to get on between 9 and 9:30. Sorry, we can't get you the exact time, but once in a while our schedules just back us up.
So if you're watching here, here's the first article, guys. This is not even, I didn't even know this is from the state until I found this. A big step up. Detroit begins using remote-controlled mowers to cut freeway grass. We'll just kind of read this little article here first. So it says the city of Detroit contractor has started using remote control mowers to cut grass along city freeways. The city showed off the mowers on Thursday along I-75. Terry Payne from Payne Landscaping said he's been cutting the grass along freeways for 2 decades. Wow. And this is much safer. It's really a big step up. We used to ride on the mowers a lot. This is a big difference, Payne said. According to the city, the remote-controlled mowers are used on the sloped grassy sides of the freeways. About 80 to 85% of the freeways have sloped grass, according to the city. Since Detroit took over daily freeway maintenance in 2023, including grass cutting, officials say the grass is being cut a minimum of 5 cuts, 5 cuts a year. Well, here's a video, though, Greg, of these mowers. What brands are those? Do you know?
I was just getting ready to ask you the same thing. I can't tell what brand they are. They almost look like a vent. No, it's not. I know it's.
Hey, what is that?
There it is.
RC Mowers R Series.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're called. Anyone know about? Didn't we see those at the expo? But it looks like there's a Vanguard on that. That's interesting. Wow.
RC mowers. So look like they look pretty cool. And got that track on them instead of tires, so they don't go falling off, rolling off, or sliding. That's the nice part when you get on those slopes. Is sometimes you start sliding at those angles. So good for them.
Yeah, it probably is a whole lot safer. So this guy had been mowing them for 2 decades. That's 20 years. And then it looks like he lost the contract, right? And then the city took it over because these slopes on the freeways. I don't know if any of you guys have done freeway mowing, but I would not do that, Greg. That's a death wish, isn't that?
I do not. Actually, I drove by a guy the other day and I thought that same thing. I don't know if I'd want to be doing it. It was on the wasn't on the freeway. It was on the highway on M59. So between the 2 roads. And a guy was out mowing that, and I'm going, I just don't know if I'd want to be doing that. So, because those are sloped and you got garbage and stuff that you pick up, and it was, sections that you got to go around. You make sure you go around, otherwise you got some issues. And so, it's not, I can't pull my 3500 over and help pull you out too easily. So,
email us, guys, if you know anything about these RC mowers. But let's why don't you read this next story here, Greg? Here, I'll share this tab here. If you want to pull this up on your own screen about this clown here in Florida.
Yeah. So a Florida man, Brooksville, Florida, a man faces charges after troopers say he took his riding mower onto a busy toll road while impaired. So, that's interesting in and of itself. Yeah. And really, according to Highway Patrol, dispatchers received calls from multiple witnesses around 8:30 a.m. What time did this guy start drinking? If it's 8:30 a.m. or when did he stop drinking? I guess that might be the other thing. Friday, reporting a man operating a lawnmower erratically, on the south side of the Suncoast Parkway. Yeah, because if normally it's not erratic if you're riding your lawnmower on the tollway, but in his case, he was erratic. Right? Yeah.
You just see him putzing down the...
Yeah.
Anyways.
Troopers say, I don't know if you saw, I got to bring this up to you. Troopers say traffic cameras showed the lawnmower going south from Citrus County into Hernando County. So he was able to cover 2 counties on his mower. And the rider was pulled over just, he was probably right on the edge.
Too. He must have been cooking.
Yeah, he must have had 38. And the rider was pulled over just south of the exit to US 98. I don't know if he was trying to get off at the exit or not. Christopher Spain, 38, showed several signs of impairment: small pupils, flushed skin, dry mouth, and visible irritation to the inside of his nose. I don't know why they're looking in his, I know why they're looking in his nose, but I wouldn't want to be a fan of doing that. Spain also had a small blue straw in his back pocket, according to troopers, and repeatedly cleared his throat, sniffed, and spit during the traffic stop. So troopers say refused to perform field sobriety exercises and was arrested on a charge of driving under the influence. So, looks
like he was on the cocaine, right?
I'm thinking that straw may have had something to do with it.
They're checking his nose.
Yeah. Oh, I know what they were checking, but I just wouldn't want to be a fan of that. And so,
Does
but
he
it's
own a
funny here.
business, or was he just a dude on a mower that was just on the freeway?
I'm sorry. What? Say it again.
Was he a business owner? Or was he just a dude on the freeway?
No,
that
he was
took
just
his
doing it
mower
on the freeway.
Yeah.
He took his mower on the freeway and figured he had, I don't know where he was going, had to get to work or something. And, the funny part is I'm looking a couple of things here. There's another story here, a sad story. Drunk Bradenton mom found throwing up on I-275, drove nearly 4 times the legal limit with kid in the vehicle. So I don't know if you see that on the side there.
Yeah, that's all Florida news. It's not even lawn care.
Yeah. It's just amazing here. So, what people do. So, but you got a kid in your car and you're blowing 4 times the legal limit. She's bordering on alcohol poisoning at that point, I think. So,
oh boy,
she's lucky
all
she's
right.
not dead. So, but here's a couple of things though. As an aside, the excuse me, I'm sorry. I knew somebody that got pulled over for driving for drunk driving on their bicycle, and that didn't go over too well apparently. Yeah, he was on his bicycle trying to drive, and then here's something. Just kind of speaking of because the guy wasn't speeding. I don't know if you saw my picture the other day I sent you. You know how they have those things in the neighborhoods for people speeding? They'll post it.
You told me about that. Yeah. We talked about that on the live stream. If any of you guys watched, Greg talked about this, but I'll say it again.
Yeah, I forgot I had mentioned it, but I saw one of those and I thought, heck, I want to see. So I got no cars were coming, so I got right in front of it and floored it, as they say on my Bobcat, and got up to 10 miles an hour on it. So I didn't have a fear of being pulled over or arrested. So, but I can't imagine trying to drive my Gravelly or my Bobcat down the freeway. So
that guy was so I'd say it was DUI, but that was on cocaine. So here we go. Greg,
that's under
next
the
story. You're going to like
Yeah.
this one. This is more so just how someone handled a customer. It's okay. So second year as an LLC in Minnesota. And this felt great as a small business owner to another. How do you deal with that customer? Here's what he said. This text message is our notification that you have been removed from our service schedule for several reasons. 1, your yard is a swamp and damages our machines. 2, you have made accusations that we have billed for services we have not performed. And finally, you are very rude and condescending person to talk to. You will not be billed for the work that was done today because we have decided to quit you halfway through. Thank you for your time. Oh, Rich Gilbert. No, he probably doesn't listen, but that's one way to handle a customer. I think he kind of got eaten up there in the comments too, Greg, didn't he?
yes, he did not do too well in the comments here. How many people? 74 comments replied back to him saying not particularly professional. A couple of people said, yeah, good for you. But it's the way the guy handled it. I guess it's one, I have to admit, it's kind of funny. He says 1, then 2, and finally, he doesn't even use a 3. So it's almost
1,
like
2,
there was
finally.
there was what was it in Much Ado About Nothing, Shakespeare. He says
he just did this, Greg.
You're fired.
Yeah, but in that Much Ado About Nothing, there's and they use the same line in Home Alone, but he says A, then 2, and then D. So he goes from A to 2 to D.
It's funny.
So, so anyway, that's an aside here. I just find that humorous. But your yard is a swamp and damages our machines. It's probably just really not the way to say something to your client.
He just wanted to stick it to him almost, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he was slamming them. And well, here's the thing though: made accusations that we billed for services we haven't performed. I've had that happen to me, and I've fired the client over it. And a couple of times I fired the clients over that. You said I didn't do the job. Well, one of them I let him do it twice. The other guy, he did it once, and then he was done. So I said, now we're done. And you're rude and condescending to the person talking to you. So
I would like to. I mean, some people were commenting. I would love to hear what they replied. One person replied just basically saying this: being in business for over 5 years as a professional and 20 years being in music directing for many church ministries, I've learned to always leave my emotions out of my line of work. You are very rude and condescending to talk to. Was not needed. You could have walked away without expressing how you feel, which is a personal issue. And I'm too OCD to leave leave a lawn halfway mowed. That's quite interesting, right?
Yeah. Well, here's one that I like. Second year in business, you're asking for advice and then fighting with everyone in the comments who doesn't agree with you. You're a little rude and condescending yourself. I like that one.
Oh boy, that's
nice response.
That's okay, Greg. Why don't we hop onto this?
This is how they deserve to be spoken to, but this isn't how you actually do it. This will get you a swath. A swath of bad reviews. I've never been able to use the word swath before. Bad reviews from multiple accounts. So, anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We'll actually land the plane on this one. This is kind of a inspiring story, Greg. Let me hop on over to this tab here. Let's play this video. We can do some mixing here on the fly if it's too much, but just let me know.
During a winter snowstorm when First Alert 4 ran into a North St. Louis County teen shoveling driveways in his Ferguson neighborhood. This is 14-year-old Lawrence Hoy. He told us back then he was starting his own lawn care business and was knocking on doors looking for new customers. Well, now 4 years later and about to graduate from high school, Lawrence's business has taken off and he's got big plans for his future.
Our Caroline Hecker caught up with Lawrence as he and his team work to keep their growing number of customers coming back for more.
At Hoy Creek Lawn and Landscaping, the work starts early to beat the St. Louis summer heat. Every morning, Lawrence and his team load up the lawnmowers onto the trailer and head out to their first job of the day.
Carson, you hop on this one. Joe, front yard.
Work that Lawrence used to do all by himself, now spread across his 6-person crew.
Words can't even express how much we've really grown.
This is Lawrence 3 years ago, going at it alone. Unable to drive, his mom served as his chauffeur to countless jobs. Enough of them that when he turned 16 and got a license, he was able to buy 2 trucks and a trailer to haul his gear.
It makes me feel accomplished in the sense that how I started at 13 years old and just saw that it could be so much more than just a kid pushing around a lawnmower, making a few bucks.
Today, his company does year-round work, mowing and landscaping in the spring and summer, along with leaf and debris removal in the fall and winter. His clients earned through grit and hard work.
I'll go to the Starbucks over there by my shop and literally just walk in random neighborhoods, get dropped in a neighborhood by an Uber or something, and literally just go knock and pound doors.
And when he's in school, his crew has his back.
At first, I was like, does he really have a business? Is it really like, like when you hear that from somebody younger than you and it's like, yeah, you be like, nah, he don't, yeah. But coming and seeing like how he does things and stuff, and I can see his hustle.
Lawrence plans to graduate from the STEAM Academy at McClure South Berkeley High School in December. Days later, he plans to buy a house, a place to plan his next move, an expansion into the southern United States.
He's putting a lot of hustle into it, a lot of heart, and a lot of dedication to this, and I definitely believe he can go farther.
Until then,
you hopping on this one?
Lawrence and his crew remain hard at work, giving back to the community.
And that's what a lot of people say. They're like, we love to see like young men doing something productive in this world.
And for Lawrence, it's come full circle.
I know like 13-year-old me will be screaming right now because everything that I said I wanted to do, I've done.
And how many people can say that? In Maryland Heights, Caroline Hecker, First Alert 4.
I just love that we keep checking back up on Lawrence. He's doing an outstanding job. He says that without his mom's support, he wouldn't be where he is today.
Well, good for Lawrence, man.
Yeah, good for him. You bought two trucks and a trailer, St. Louis area, yeah. Two trucks and a trailer, and 2 trailers by the time he was 16, after only being 3 years in the business. And heck, I only have one. Well, no, I do have 2 trucks, but 1 trailer. Yeah. That. And then when he graduates high school, he was planning on buying a house. So he's set himself up with a 6-man crew really well. So he's busy man, busy young man. Good for him.
Hey, 17 will be a senior at the STEAM Academy at McClure South Berkeley High School in the fall, which he plans to graduate early. Good for this guy. He started younger than I did, Greg. Yeah. I started when I was 18, 19. Mm-hmm. They didn't say how many accounts he had, but if he's got a crew of 6 guys, he must be doing something right. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Wow.
6 guys and multiple vehicles and just doing well. So he's doing well for himself. Good for him. That's nice. That's a nice story to hear. I know I was talking to somebody the other day that they were actually interested in doing lawn care. And I said, yeah, heck yeah, you could be doing this. And they're a younger guy, college, roughly college age. And I said, yeah, this is easy. And I said, when it comes time for me to retire, you can buy my business. So, and because he was trying to figure out how he was going to grow it. And I said, well, that's one way you can buy my business. And that's one way you can take on a number of clients and then get started on your own and then take over somebody else's as well.
He's aiming high here, too. It looks like they're not doing snow in the winter because of, what did it say? The winter, he said, will be the first in which he would no longer offer snow removal due to increased insurance costs and liability. I completely understand that. Yes, a lot of risk in trucks with snow like that. Like that's probably a smart move. That's why I haven't really gone out myself, done it, even though I was snow blowing my driveways and I kind of collaborated with my buddies and we do all their commercial stuff. But it says his vision is to hire a GM to oversee operations here locally. So I'm able to go out and try to start franchising. Ooh, man. Franchising. Yeah. That's like what Mike Andes did with Augusta Lawn Care. He spoke at the expo when we were there last year. Put a lot of hustle into this, a lot of heart, and I believe he can go far. Several of his employees are former classmates and friends from a school, a couple whom work full-time. Man, I couldn't get any of my friends to work for me.
No, it's good for them, though, because they're actually, he's got friends that he's talking to and he's getting them to work and help. And good for those guys, though, because we know how hard it is to find good employees right now. And we hear lots of guys complaining about that. So, one of my boys has a friend that started a lawn care business, landscaping more, and is what he does. I'm not even sure if he's doing lawn care, but he started it and he's hired a bunch of his high school buddies to come and help him do the work. So I've seen that recently as well. So this kid just graduated a couple of years ago from high school and went out and started a landscaping business.
Here's the kicker before we kind of park the mower back in the trailer. This is pretty funny, but this is called hustle here, guys. Because you can drive. I'll go to the Starbucks, walk random neighborhoods, get dropped in a neighborhood by an Uber or something, and literally knock and pound doors, he said. A lot of no's can be turned into a yes in the sense that while they may not need a certain service we provide, they may be interested in another. And then on weekends, employees will ride hoverboards. There you go. Hey, Greg, they're riding hoverboards. I ride my Segway to trim. That's kind of the way to do it. If I were to do flyers again, forget taking it around in the trucks. I just hop on my Segway. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. So good for him.
He's getting hustle.
Ideas. He's great hustle and pretty soon he'll probably be up to 8 people working for him. So, and just keep at it. And especially when he's getting ready to graduate from high school too, because that's going to give him more opportunities to go knocking on doors. And don't be afraid to knock on doors, guys. It can be daunting, but it's not as bad as you think. It's more in your head than anything. And like he said, you get lots of no's, but
remember when I was telling you that, Greg?
What's that?
I'm kind of a wuss bag when it comes to conversation. Greg, you'll talk to anyone, and that's bolstered my confidence.
Yeah, and a no doesn't necessarily mean no, but they don't want somebody to mow the lawn, so why not edge? Why not clean the gutters? Why not do a fall cleanup? Why not look at a spring cleanup? Why not find other opportunities that you can do something for somebody? If you want, you could look at power washing or so. If it just kind of depends. There's different things you can do. Power washing, if you want to do it right, you can get a lot of equipment. But if you just want to kind of do it a little bit to get started, you get yourself a little power washer and start it at that way, and then build yourself up, just like this kid did with, he got a mower and started mowing lawns. So I've seen people out there pulling their mower on their bicycle. And they've got a little wagon that they put the mower in and their other stuff, and they're pulling along behind on their bicycle.
Well, we'll do the bat signal. Lawrence Hoy, if you want to hop on the podcast, I'm not even sure if this will get to him, but if anyone knows him, tell him the Turf Nerds want to get him on to talk about his business, right? We can get him on from the field, the real lawn care talk. But guys, we hope you like the series. Do us a favor, rate the show. We're the 5-star only type of show. 5 stars for the Uncle Greg and then the annoying nephew, me. Yeah. But
you know what we could do is
again,
we got to tell him tell Lawrence Hoy that if he comes on the show, we might be able to get him on a class.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tell him he's got a podcast opportunity, so he's got to go to the principal and say, "Hey, can I get out of class for this?"
Oh, that'd be so funny. If anyone knows him, guys, tell him the dorky Turf Nerds will meet. Not Greg is sent you. Thanks, guys.